Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel, and in today's episode I need dirt and mud. I'm building the most efficient dirt and mud farm, and this is the farm. Okay, so let's jump into it. Okay, so I have the schematic over here, but I'm going to be placing everything block by block format like a tutorial, just so that I can explain this system over here that generates the dirt, this system over here that not only makes the gravel, splits the dirt, but also makes the coarse dirt that fills the dirt harvester, and then this machine over here, which is ultimately the mud maker. So this can get quite technical, but I'm going to go nice and slowly so you can understand it. All right, let's jump into it. Don't mind the wood and some holes. I've given myself some landmarks, and we're going to be starting with the dirt. So in order to get the dirt harvested, we're going to have a drill system. So we're going to be placing the drills next to each other. Right, and we're going to do it 4 at a time. Above the drills, we're going to be placing our vaults. This is going to collect all the materials from the farm, as well as collecting all the coarse dirt to put into the farm. On here, we are going to add some plows. We need a block just to place over here. And the deployer needs to face a certain way. So I'm going to come in underneath. Okay, so the deployers need to face this way so that we can put a filter over here, which is going to be coarse dirt. I'm going to go ahead and place the rest of the deployers. Okay, so we're going to be adding coarse dirt into the filters. What this means is over here, you're going to have the drill system that's going to be drilling the dirt. But before it gets to the coarse dirt, it's going to change this coarse dirt to normal land or to farmland, doesn't matter. It's going to drill it. And when it comes back, it's going to be placing the coarse dirt. So for the first row, it's going to place coarse dirt as it goes because this is in front. And this is the whole contraption. So I got the idea for this contraption from my very good friend, DioSil25. Thanks, Dio, for allowing me to use this build. Okay, and then we need to glue all of these items together. But before we do that, we need to make the gantry shaft. So this is going to run on a gantry. The gantry is going to run alongside this dirt bank over here. So lastly, we need to add the carriage, and that's going to have this whole thing go up and down. Okay, let's glue it all together. So I'm going to glue this together first, and then this can get attached. But we need to make sure that these are all attached to each other. So let's go over here. The plow and the deployers are now glued together. We need to glue these two items together. So this is all glued together, and then ultimately this needs to get glued to that. There we go. Now it will go up and down as one piece. We just need to now set the inputs and the outputs. The sequence gear shift block is going to be placed onto the gantry shaft, and this is what's going to give the power to move up and down. By clicking on this block, we can add a sequence of events that need to happen. Over here, I wanted to have a time delay, 10-second time delay. Second. Okay, so 10-second time delay. I held shift just to change it from ticks to seconds. And then over here, we're going to have the piston move. So you see piston move, pulley or gantry. So this is a gantry system. And we're going to have it moving forward by, let's say, 15 blocks. That's moving forward. Then we're going to have the... I'm using my wheel to make this change. And we're going to have this go up 15 as well. But then we can have it coming back at double speed, and that's it. And the only way that we power this thing is essentially with redstone. So by adding a button, we can trigger the power. We're gonna have this running over the top, and it's essentially going to come around. Now we need to add a loop in here so that it can be repeated, and by doing this we can use a pulse repeater. This is also another really cool create contraption, so it helps with redstone. And what we do here is we say, okay, we wanted to do a 10-second trip up and down, and after 10 seconds, so once it's been pulsed, this thing is going to have its wait 10 seconds. It's going to do what it needs to do a transfer of blocks, offloading and unloading blocks. Then the information is going to come through. So the triggers, it's going to trigger. This is going to wait 10 seconds. It's going to send another redstone pulse through here. This is going to wait, so we can set another, let's give it another 10 seconds, and then hopefully by that time it's come back and it's going to receive the second pulse, and then it's going to do its delay where it's going to offload goods, unload blocks, and then get sent back off again. So this is essentially the power system that's going to change and make this gantry go up and down. But ultimately, this thing needs power, and that's when we're going to be powering it from down here. Oh, this is a space that I have for power and water. So this is water. So this is where all of the power is going to happen. So the water wheels are going to be running over there. Okay, so before I get the power in, I'm just going to go ahead and build the rest of the contraption. So this side is all built up. This is basically where it's going to be getting the dirt. So coarse dirt's going to get plowed, creating normal dirt, and it's going to get picked up there by the mechanical drills and get offloaded onto another chute. So I'm going to create the chute quickly. So just turning the schematic back on just to show you what I'm going to be doing here. This is where the coarse dirt gets made, and this goes onto a conveyor belt and it goes into the vault. And this is where the dirt gets offloaded and goes into this item that splits off over here. So right now I'm going to create this portion of it. Okay, by standing on this side and popping 2 shafts down, we have no risk of it connecting to that. So we can extend it up using additional mechanical bolts. And we just keep extending this all the way to this point over here, next to the hole. And that way we can ensure that the mechanical craft over here is going to take everything into the vault. I'm going to place 2 blocks over here so we can put the mechanical crafters on top. Okay, so we need to change the interface so that it's only a 2x2 output. And we're going to change it using the wrench. We're going to have this guy go down, and this is going to go out. And that's that interface. That's going to go down, go to the right, and go to the right. There we go. So those are the 2 inputs. And I'm going to add a hopper on each side. Okay, by placing 2 temporary blocks over here, we're going to have the outputs just going into these blocks for now. Let me remove these and I'll show you why I've placed them there. So the outputs are going to go into these hoppers. If we don't have them going into the hopper, they're going to pop off in random directions and probably land in and around the area on the contraptions and not actually landing in the belt. The chutes will come down, directing the coarse dirt from the mechanical crafters down into the chutes and onto the belt, and that way they go into the vault. We can click on these with a wrench so that we can see the action. Placing another 2 temporary blocks over here, we're going to be adding the mechanical arms. So the way the mechanical arms work is they take items off a depot. So we'll have our depot set up over here. So the way the mechanical arm works is you select the depot that it's going to take an item from. It's going to be placing it onto the mechanical crafter in these 2 spots. We need to double click to make sure that the 2 spot is yellow, and we're just going to do the same. So the take from is blue, take to is yellow, just like that. And we're going to put this arm over here, and we're going to do the same for this arm. It's going to take from here and it's going to place there and there. Just for interest sake, if you aren't aware, the recipe to make coarse dirt is with 2 dirt and 2 gravel in this configuration, so cross from each other. What this does is the mechanical crafter, once powered, will essentially turn this into coarse dirt. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and I'm just going to put these items over here. So when the mechanical crafter gets power, you'll see these items start moving into this fashion. It will pop into the hopper, into the chute, and go onto the conveyor belt, ready for the vault. Placing 2 temporary blocks and 2 barrels. The barrels are going to be collecting the dirt from the vault over here. And this barrel is going to get gravel from cobblestone generator. Okay, and then over here, we need to add our funnels, and we need to change the funnel output facing out. And we need to change the filter over here. So by holding and clicking onto this filter, we can say we want exactly 4 blocks to be produced from this barrel at any time. So it's not just going to be throwing blocks out. We want it to only release 4 blocks at a time. Why 4? We need 4 gravel and we need 4 dirt. So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to set exactly 4. Okay, sorted. To make it easier to follow, I'm breaking it up into stages. So this was the mechanical part done. Let's make the cobblestone generator that will make us gravel. Okay, holding shift, we're going to be placing our chutes on top of our barrel. Okay, this part's going to have a millstone. The millstone's going to have another chute. And I'm going to build a quick cobblestone generator on top. thought I would try something. Put a leaf block here and it still works. It still made cobblestone. So that's a cool little trick for you. Okay, let's pop that out and put that over there. Alright, so what that's going to do. So this is how the lava farm is. Essentially, we've got a leaf block over here that's been waterlogged with water. We've got the lava that's just above this thing. And what's going to happen is this drill is going to drill out this part. Lava's going to drop down, meet with the water, and convert to cobblestone. Cobblestone's going to go in through the shaft. Go into the chute, get ground, go into the chute, and pop into this barrel. Okay, now we're going to make the conveyor coming from the vault into the system over here. Firstly, we're going to add a shaft over here. Okay, let's pop our shafts down and let's connect it all the way to the vault. Okay, there we go. So as you can see, even though this looks like it's not going in anywhere, the brass funnel connects over here and this brass funnel connects over there. So this one's going to send out dirt. So we're going to do dirt over there, and this one's going to send in coarse dirt. The way we make sure that this goes in is this conveyor belt's going to move in this direction, and this one's going to move in the opposite direction, taking items out of the vault and going into the system over here. Okay, so by popping down the brass tunnel over here, this ensures that the conveyor belt gets the dirt from the vault, travels this way. It's going to go into the system, but it's also going to split off over here, and that means it's going to go into the line that's going to produce mud. I'm just going to pop these two here for now so that we know that it's going to be traveling outwards, and we can set the feature over here. And we make sure that we click on this and that the distribution method is split. That means it's going to come in and it's going to split off into the different belts. Okay, I've added some marker blocks just so that we have the proper measurements. So this needs to come out one more, and this shaft is going to go all the way to here. Okay, let's connect the belts to there. There we go. So this belt is basically the mud line. By adding a basin over here. Okay, and then over here we need to add a filter. So we need to tell the mixing basin, essentially we want you to make mud. That's your recipe. So the recipe input for this basin is mud, meaning we're taking dirt from there, we're going to pump water from here, and the mixer at the top. So this mixer over here is going to essentially make mud. So that's the recipe item. So the input's going to happen over here, and once it's done, it's just going to poop out mud on the side, and the mud is going to go into a barrel. We put the barrel over here, and there we go. So once the basin is finished making the mud, it's going to poop out over here, go into the barrel, and this is our storage unit for all of the mud. I'm going to be changing this out to a drawer. I didn't have a drawer on me right now, I just had a barrel, so rather use a drawer, don't use a barrel, because it's going to fill up very quickly. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and, oh, we need one more section. Okay, last section over here. So here in the schematic, you can see I had another drawer system with the funnels, and I've decided to not do that. Instead, we can get away with just the belts changing direction, and that makes it a little bit easier. So initially, I had it going just straight out that way, but I wanted to make it a little bit narrower, and the output was just randomly here. And I wanted the output to be over here because this is the entrance to the warehouse. Okay, and before we forget, the water input goes in from this water source over here. So this is an infinite water source that I've placed below the device over here. So it can always just draw up water that way. And the next thing we need to make sure is that the pump is always facing the direction we need the water to flow in. So in this case, I need it to face up. And if it isn't facing the right way, we just use a wrench to change direction. Okay, so now that's done, I'm going to go ahead and connect all of the power connections. So enjoy this little montage. Montage time. Okay, now that the farm is all set up and everything is moving, let's turn it on. Okay, here we go. So the timers that are set up is 8 seconds. 8 seconds delay. That gives it enough time to get everything. 20 seconds over there. 10 seconds over there. It allows it enough time to go to the front, come to the back, drop everything off, and send the new signal for it to go back again. And there we go. Everything's looking awesome. There's the dirt going into the mud. Pooping out mud. That's so cool. And there we go. It's off again. Okay, so while this is running, I'm going to do a time lapse of the factory build. Enjoy the time lapse. Watching this farm work brings me so much joy, and I hope it's brought you some joy as well. And if it has, why don't you leave me a like? And if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more, why don't you subscribe? I produce videos like this every week. I'll add the schematic file to this farm on my Discord, and if you want to join my Discord, the link is in the description below. If you're new to my channel, my name is SandySparkles. I enjoy making create mod and modded videos. So if you're new to create, why don't you check out this awesome andesite farm or this tree farm that I've listed here. And as always, leave a little sparkle wherever you go, and I'll see you all next week. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.